So I wasn't planning on making a video about this. There's a large part of me that's fearful about getting hit with a takedown or having my channel deleted for just talking about this, but it's the elephant in the room. YouTube's AI age verification that they plan to roll out come August 13th, just 5 days from me writing this, possibly it's already happened by the time you see this, it is something that will destroy the internet as we know it, and something we have to stand against. To make a long story short, YouTube will use an AI to comb through your account history. It will determine your age based upon how old your account is, the type of content you watch, and if it determines that you are below 18, it will effectively suspend your account until you provide either a credit card or a government-issued ID to prove your identity. Many others have already pointed out that this is dangerous. Large companies have already shown that they are not particularly concerned about keeping your data safe, given how frequently they're hit with massive data breaches, thousands to millions of people's information getting swiped from under their noses. But the aspect I want to touch on is not that one. It's the issue of censorship. Outside of YouTube, I have been active as a creator in adult communities on the internet for many years now. The furry community, to be specific. This may seem like a tangent, but it is important. Furries are largely made up of members of the LGBT community, and sadly, it is a community that is no stranger to censorship, be it from corporations or the fist of the law being wielded like a cudgel. The furry community, the adult community, the LGBT community are all canaries. They are easy targets because they fall outside of what is considered the norm. It is easy to get the common person to agree that they are immoral, that they are unsafe and strange, and so they are a testing ground for censorship and cruelty, for the removal of rights and safety in the name of protection. For the most part, people outside of these circles did not speak up when Tumblr banned porn, or when Patreon and Fansly began to strike down adult creators with little warning, creators of these communities forced to jump ship to new platforms again and again as each ship sank beneath them, all due to the same restrictions. When livelihoods and artworks were disrupted and censored, many were silent when Republican officials introduced bathroom bills and sports bans to quietly stack laws to ban trans people from simply existing in public. Many were silent when peaceful gatherings were disrupted by violence. For years, government officials, backed by the power of payment processors, have moved to restrict these groups' content, often in partnership with conservative groups such as Collective Shout, empowered by a general sense of blasé disinterest from much of the general public, allowing for them to push for laws such as creating or owning porn a federal crime. You may recognize that name, Collective Shout, as the group known for being behind the initial slew of calls that convinced MasterCard and Visa to restrict adult content from Steam and itch.io. Them, and many groups like them, were behind every other censorship I mentioned before. And so now, greatly unopposed in the past, they have taken this current moment in time, this cultural shift towards conservatism and a puritanical sense of order, to make their big push. For the children, they will claim. Whatever their claimed intentions, these actions fall into a pattern of behavior from Christian groups, large tech companies, and government officials wielding the power of payment processors to restrict adult content, to cleanse the internet of anything they deem immoral, their definition of this word as flexible as a string of taffy. It starts with fringe adult works because it is an easy target, just cleaning up the filth. Then a rainbow flag with the word pride on it is immoral, encouraging sexual behaviors. Then they move on to violence in games, another immoral favorite target of theirs, as it encourages violence. It is a train that doesn't stop. We ignored the canaries, and now the gas is seeping into our lungs. I understand that I'm using the very same slippery slope fallacy that they do to prove my point, but I feel like when there is such a trail of consistency to their behaviors, it is less a fallacy and more of a educated guess as to where things are headed. These are powerful people who want to shape the world in their image, and the internet stands as the last free vestige of the common people's will. The final Wild West where people can say what they want and create what they please. While it has changed, while tech companies have garnered more and more control over it, the general sense that it is a wild place has remained vastly unchanged. But they, these Christian groups, these politicians wielding the power of payment processors and laws, want this to change. They want complete control over the internet, to be able to see everything we post, to know who posted it, to censor those they deem immoral, to monitor those who they believe may prove problematic to their goals. To bring it back around, I think YouTube's new age verification has little to do with protection. I think it is simply another stepping stone for these powerful Christian groups and politicians to control what is and isn't allowed on the internet through censorship. It is an early step to restrict those who do not comply to their rules, demonetize or remove channels who speak out. We've already seen this happen, in fact. To restrict our speech by requiring us to give up our IDs, to remove our anonymity, to monitor what we watch and what we say on their platforms, and tie those things to our real names and faces. All this in the name of protecting the children. Meanwhile, the known effects of these bills, one recently passed in the UK, is to shut down small niche online communities that cannot afford to implement the security measures being required of them, ones that, when implemented, are overridden by something as simple as Gary's Mod ragdolls. It's very clear that they don't care who gets caught in the crossfires. The wording on these bills is intentionally vague so that they may be enforced however they see fit. Bicycle forums, the ability to send messages on Xbox, things that have nothing to do with adult content have already been decimated by these bills. And many similar bills have already made their way into the US. The Screen Act, the Kids Online Safety Act, bills that are being pushed this very day. This will move beyond removing content from the internet. Censorship does not stop merely at the things you don't like. It does not stop at banning books or removing videos. We've all seen the footage of ICE removing people from existence, locking them away in far-off places to never be seen again, often people who have broken no laws other than being labeled a problem. We know what this country is willing to do to people it deems problematic. All this to say, do not comply in advance. On screen and down below, I will list as many bills that I know of that seek to allow the government and corporations further control over the internet. Do what you can to call your representatives and oppose these bills before everything changes for the worse. And please, if you know of any that are not listed here, name them in the comments. I will also include the numbers of payment processors if you wish to reach out to them. Before I end this, I'd like to share with you something a friend told me when this all started months ago. Whatever comes next, whatever they try to erase or cover up or twist, we existed. We made an impact on people through the art we made, the people we loved, and we mattered. For a brief moment on this speck of rock, we existed, and they can't take that away. Not from you, not from me. We existed, and we were human. Stay safe, stay alive. If you want a deeper dive into this war on adult content on the internet and its history, consider checking out this video by Lextorius. I stumbled across it while writing this, and it covers the history of internet censorship in much more detail than I do here. Thank you for watching.